It was at the medical center of the University of Paris in 1983 that a team of French scientists made an important discovery about elastin. They were investigating the relationship between the development of arteriosclerosis and the progressive loss of elastin that occurs in the walls of the arteries as people age. They were looking for a means of introducing elastin into the body internally as a means of regenerating the arterial wall. This is what elastin, processed elastin, looks like. Elastin can be obtained from animal tissue, for example, from the thick, strong sinews in the neck of a bull. But once it's extracted, it undergoes a structural change which makes it inactive on human tissue. What the French team have discovered is how to keep elastin active and soluble. The elastin protein contains two amino acids, desmosin and isodesmosin, which are normally cross-linked to form the filaments in the elastin fibers. It's thought this cross-linking gives human elastin its unique two-dimensional stretch. All humans produce elastin naturally, and until recently it was believed that after the age of 20, the production slowed and stopped completely by the age of 40. However, it now appears that elastin continues to be produced by the body until old age, but in an apparently useless form.
What you can make out if you look closely is that there are lots of tiny little elastic staining fibers at this junctional zone between the superficial cells and the underlying dermis. And that's very important to the changes that occur with aging.
At the University of Adelaide in South Australia, in the pathology department's connective tissue laboratory, Dr. Ted Cleary, one of the world's leading experts on elastin, working along similar lines to the Paris team, has made significant progress in understanding how and why our skin ages and wrinkles form.
Here you can see in the young skin those microfilaments in the dermoepidermal junction region, plenty of them visible. And when we come to the older skin that's been sun exposed, even at 43 years, we can see no elastic microfibrillar components at the dermoepidermal junction, but lots of new elastin synthesis occurring immediately below it.
Dr. Cleary's team is focusing its attention more and more on the tiny microfibril components of the elastic tissue in the belief that they are the key to the skin's deterioration with age.
We believe that it's some disorder in those microfibrillar bundles which is responsible for the alterations in the wrinkling of the skin that occur with both aging and with sunlight exposure. When we look at the distribution of the elastin and the microfibrillar component in the skin, we find that the elastin is mostly in the deeper part, and then as we get out towards the layer of cells, there is only microfibrillar material there. If we then look at what happens with aging as wrinkles develop, we find that there is a loss of the elastic tissue microfibrils in that junctional zone, and they're greatly reduced. And one suspects that those are actually, loss of those is responsible for wrinkling.
Elastin is normally completely insoluble. It just floats in suspension. With special treatment, however, it can now be made water-soluble. Even so, conventional thinking has been that applying elastin externally, for instance as a cream, is of no use because the molecules are too big to penetrate the skin. Yet recent double-blind studies have shown it is possible.
They've shown that the addition of the elastin to the cosmetic does appear to alter the presence of wrinkles. Now, that in itself is a very interesting observation. It's possible to explain that on the basis that the elastin molecule is very lipophilic. That is, it has few charged molecules in it, amino acids, and it's soluble in lipids. And it's quite possible that even large molecules may in fact pass across the skin barrier, and we may have to re-examine our understanding of whether the skin is permeable to those sort of products.
A joint Japanese-American-Australian company, Narhex, has been formed to produce soluble cross-linked elastin. The United States Food and Drug Administration have created a new category, cosmetic drug, for the cream, which comes in two different strengths and carries the label skin treatment for wrinkles. After the break, we put cross-linked elastin to the test. Can it remove my wrinkles? What we're doing here is preparing a test. Robin Jennings is a photographic model, and she has quite a few little wrinkles that she'd like to see disappear. And I have quite a lot that I'd like to see the last of. So we're going to take some before and after photographs. Neither of us are wearing any makeup or treatment on our faces. So these photographs should show the wrinkles at their worst. Well, with the help of a little video magic, let's see how those pictures turned out. There are some pretty clear lines on both of us. Robin's are rather fine, but mine look a bit like a road map. Well, for the next 4 weeks, both Robin and I will be applying the two forms of the cross-linked elastin cream to our wrinkles. And then we'll come back here again to have another set of photographs taken. In Robin's photos, you can clearly see how the very small wrinkles under her eyes have gone in the later shots. And mine too seem to have been reduced a bit under my left eye, but I probably need to keep it going a bit longer. Well, in addition to the photos that were taken of Robin and myself, a large number of other people have participated in a separate before and after trial of the new cream, which shows some quite clear improvements. For example, in this woman, the fine lines under the eyes are almost eliminated, while in this one, the bags under her eyes have disappeared. This middle-aged woman has lost several wrinkles, while the dark lines and puffiness under this woman's eyes have almost completely gone. In the United States, Dr. Eugene Van Scott, research dermatologist at the Skin and Cancer Hospital in Philadelphia, has made similar studies using very strong formulations of alpha-hydroxy acids, which are used in moisturizers. He has achieved remarkable results with elderly patients. For example, the deep wrinkles under the eye of this 85-year-old woman have been dramatically reduced by the treatment, as have the lines on her cheek and around her mouth. And this woman in her 70s has also been able to eliminate and smooth out many of the wrinkles around her eyes. Despite these recent advances, we're still a long way from a complete understanding of the nature of our skin and why it ages. But at least for the first time, scientists are taking it seriously.
What's happening at the moment is that reputable scientists, and I would want to include myself amongst those, are starting to become interested in research on skin in much greater numbers.
Well, while the scientists press on with their research into elastin and alpha-hydroxy acids, there's little doubt that people will buy the new products like cross-linked elastin in order to improve their skin, get rid of their wrinkles, and stay looking younger.